I'm annoyed with my mom right now, which really should not be news since I'm pretty much perpetually annoyed with my mom. Yesterday, my parents invited my sister's boyfriend's parents over for dinner, and my sister's boyfriend. And so they literally spent the entire day getting ready for this, because our house is, of course, disgusting, so they had to clean it up. Now, of course, if they kept it clean on a regular basis, they wouldn't have to spend an entire day every once in a while cleaning it, but whatever. So they spent this entire day. I'm meanwhile trying to do stuff for India, like update my computer and like back it up and like just various like charging things, just various things for India. And my mom gets annoyed with me and tells me that she's been underwhelmed by my like help in getting ready for this. And it's like, I'm sorry, I leave for India on Wednesday. I'm really sorry I spent the day getting ready for India and not for a dinner with people that are with my sister's boyfriend's parents. I'm so sorry I didn't help get ready for that. I mean, if it was my boyfriend's parents, okay, obviously, but anyway, so that was annoying. And then today, we were supposed to go shopping to Target to get stuff for India, and she has spent so far the entire day in bed, which again, is nothing new. Welcome to my mother. So I guess I'll go to Target by myself. But anyway, on a happier note, I was going to discuss with you why I think tea is way better than coffee. Now, I've realized this is a controversial issue. I mean, let's face it, this has basically been the basis of the current, 2012 presidential debate. But I'm on the tea side, and you're on the coffee side. And while I can respect the fact that you have an opinion, I just can't understand it. Now let's go over 5 reasons why tea is better than coffee. These are not the only 5, and they are in no particular order, but they are the 5 I can currently think of. 1, tea has way more variety. I mean, I realize there's like coffee from like various different places. 1, tea has way more variety. I mean, I realize there's coffee from different places, but come on, does coffee from like Venezuela really taste different from coffee in Brazil? It's all coffee flavored, whereas tea, you have peach and blackberry and apricot and other fruits. You have like rose and chamomile and other randoms. You have like oolong and English breakfast and Earl Grey, and just like every tea tastes completely different. It's awesome. 2, tea is way easier to make. For coffee, you need like a grinder and like a coffee like pot and like steaming stuff and all this equipment. Ugh. For tea, you know what you need? Some kind of thing to keep the tea in, like a mug, water that you heat, and a tea bag. And if you want to get fancy, loose leaf tea leaves and then a tea strainer. But that's it. And with coffee, I mean, come on, how many people do you know that drink coffee black? My dad does, so I know they exist, but how many do you know? Whereas with tea, a ton of people don't drink tea with any sugar or cream or anything. I'm perfectly happy not drinking it with any sugar. I prefer 2 tablespoons of sugar, but I'm fine not doing it with none. Whereas with coffee, like, you kind of have to have all that stuff. 3, tea is healthier than coffee. Now, I realize coffee has been linked with some medicinal benefits. However, coffee has also been linked with caffeine-related problems, like, being addicted to coffee. I mean, honestly, who have you ever heard of who's addicted to tea? And also, heart disease and hypertension and just some other bad things. Whereas tea, and I'm reading off a list here, has less caffeine than coffee, so it's not as addictive, contains tannins and catechins, which have been associated with cancer and heart disease prevention, has been shown to act as a stress reliever. I can vouch for that. Contains polyphenol quercetin, which may interrupt the oxidation of LDL or bad cholesterol. Duh! And it can lower blood pressure and blood sugar and suppress aging and prevent food poisoning and skin disease and act as an antiviral. I mean, come on. It decreases triglycerides and free fatty acids in your bloodstream, while coffee contains caffeine, a fat-like chemical that actually can increase your cholesterol levels. I mean, there's a whole list here. I could go on. 4, tea is much more environmentally friendly than coffee. While you have to use coffee filters, which can only be used once and then are thrown away, you can totally reuse tea bags. And then in general, tea makers are just much more eco-friendly. Coffee roasting process emits particulate matter of volatile organic compounds, organic acids, and many gaseous pollutants into the atmosphere, whereas tea does not. And also, coffee weighs more than tea, so it costs a lot more fossil fuel to transport. Tea is light and airy and wonderful. And 5, tea is magical. Now, I don't have as much evidence of this. It's more anecdotal evidence than like scientific or statistical evidence. But at school, there's a specific kind of peach tea available at the Harper Cafe. And whenever I'm stressed, I've discovered this. If I get the peach tea, it makes everything better. It is magical. I don't know what it is. And there's other teas that do that. I mean, I love tea. Now, to be fair, I'm a little biased in all this because I kind of hate coffee. I've never liked the taste. And, you know, when you're a little kid, you hate the taste of coffee, but they're like, oh, you'll grow into it. Nope, I didn't. I still don't like the taste. And so I always thought, like, oh, shoot, like, I'm going to be completely caffeine deprived. Like, I'll just be completely tired all the time. But then I discovered tea, and it's beautiful. So much. This was all inspired by a recent visit I had to a tea shop. One was recently opened up in Lafayette, and my grandma, my mom, my sister and I all went, and we had tea time. Awesome. Okay, I must go, because I'm pretty sure my sister can hear me talking, and she probably thinks I'm a total crazy person. Also, I have to go to Target. But I love you. I know you've had a hard time lately, but it's gonna get better. And worst comes to worst, just come to India with me. Pfft, duh. DFTBA.